on. Alright, it's on. So, before lunch, right, I asked all of you to kind of do the past, present, future. Kind of, we had 2 days where we had 2 speakers come in, talk about what to do, how to present, and how it applies to your learning. So, quick recap. Yesterday, we had Mr. Don Cooper come by. He shared the rocket. He shared the math behind the rocket and how all that gets put together to actually launch someone out into space and then on the moon. Right? So, alright. Y'all two, let me get y'all attention. The girls right there. Get them to turn around. Get you to turn around. Okay, thank you. So you learned that, right? And then from there, you started to design your rockets. Everyone had a different model rocket. So at this stage, let me get every rocket that y'all made on the table just lined up, just so we could do something with it later. I told you there's going to be another surprise in terms of the awards. So let me get every rocket up here. So if you've made a rocket for the project, even if you made 2, bring them all up here. Right? So all of us had the same goal, right? But all of us designed something differently. You don't need the launcher, just the rocket, not the launcher. Bring them up on that table.
Everybody else is sticker in it except
So make sure you get every rocket that was designed, even if it didn't fly. It's all right. Let's just get it up there. All right. So let me get your attention again. This will help you. Let me get your attention again. This will help you. All right. Clap if you can hear me once. Clap if you can hear me twice. I just said it once. You just clapped once. If you can hear me twice, then you clap twice. All right, now that I have your attention. So for the past, right, we got this inspirational talk from Don Cooper. He talked about the skills that matter, math, science, etc. But then applying those skills matters even more. Not just learning it, but then applying it. Cool. Today, this morning, we learned from David Regenbaum about presentation. How do you present yourself? Not just for a pitch or for a competition like this, but also for your careers, your future. Even when he talked about your husband and wife or boyfriend and girlfriend, how would you present yourself so that the other person has, all the C's that he mentioned, they have this conversation with you. They have trust in you. There's clarity in your conversation, right? So applying both of those inspirational talks that he gave with skills that you guys already had or already are developed comes the present, right? The application and testing. You did it. All of you have different scores. So talk about the scores. And then finally, the future. What are you going to do, right? What was your lesson learned that if you had the same opportunity again, if tomorrow was Sunday again, Saturday and Sunday, what would you do differently, right? So share your lesson learned. So quick recap, help me out. You're going to cover the past, which was what? What? You weren't listening? You weren't here yesterday? Well, your team was. So tell me, what was, so if it helps, if you don't want to think about it as past, present, future, then think about inspiration. Why do something? Why get up in the morning? Why get out of the bed? Right? Present, the skills. Right? Whatever skills you already have. Everyone's got his gift. Everyone's got a skill. Right? And if you could walk, you could talk, you're blessed. Right? Not everybody's got that. So you've got skills to be able to do something. Whether it's to learn math, science, apply it, it's a skill. Maybe you can rap. Maybe you could run the fastest. Maybe you could jump the highest. Right? Everyone's got something. So the skill, that could be the present, right? You're being aware of it. And then the future, right? You've got to apply it to something. So what are you going to do different? What action are you going to take? So think of it that way if you need to. But really try to think about it that you're not just here for the sake of being here. You're here trying to get educated. And I also want to tell you that education doesn't always have to come from school. I know it sounds weird to hear that, but education it doesn't mean that you're good at school. Can anyone doubt or argue that J.J. Watt isn't educated in the art of football? You know J.J. Watt? Right? Or what about, give me the top soccer player in the world? Ronaldo. Can anyone like argue that he's not educated in the art of soccer? No one can. He's the best at it, right? It's not because they woke up and they were just blessed with gifts. No. They were aware of their presence. They did something about it. They practiced. They did it over and over and over again until it wasn't hard anymore. It was just part of their lives. So I want you guys to think about these things. If anything inspires you, it doesn't have to be space. It doesn't have to be PVC pipes and rockets. But talk to us about the process that helped today. What did you learn? Right? If your rockets went the farthest, tell us why. Right? And then you had 3 attempts. If you didn't have accuracy, why didn't that happen? If your launcher broke, why did it break? What was it about it? Did you use duct tape instead of the other teams using hot glue gun? Was there anything in that process? The key point here is explain it, or try your best to explain why that happened. Okay? So all of you, as a team, you could all individually talk, or you could designate one person in your team to talk about what happened. I'll put up the scores. I'll actually tell you the scores. You already know your scores, but I'll tell you the scores anyway. And then we'll give away the award for, obviously, the competition said the most consistent, the farthest. So we're going to give away those plaques. We've got plaque that's first place, second place, third place. So the team that had the highest distance, without being out of bounds, that team obviously gets that. Number 2, we're going to give away a team that had the scores that were the closest to each other. Meaning, if you consistently got 20, 20, 20. Well, there's an accuracy element. You get an award 1, 2, 3 for that as well. Those guys will get the bags. Okay? The HCC laptop bags. So it doesn't always have to be the distance. If accuracy was there and it landed in the same spot again and again and again, you guys get the top 3 out of that too. Alright, the third one. And this one could be the rocket that looks the coolest. And it's going to be a people's choice vote. You will determine. And then I'll have to get your help, teachers, to help me figure out which one had the loudest cheer. Yeah? Is that fair? Okay? Alright. So, if you like the rocket design, let us hear it. And if your skill is being the loudest in the room, guess what? That award will go to you. And what we'll do is we'll give away the planes, the styrofoam planes. We have, I think, 3 of them, or maybe more. So we'll give away for the best rocket designs. Even if the rocket wasn't functional, boy, in air, it looked awesome. And there's an award for design, but there's also an award for marketing. So the marketing one gets the 3rd one. So terrible product, it's okay. Great marketing. That could work too. All right. And then last but not least, something that I personally care a lot about. If there was someone that walked around and helped anybody, even if they were not part of their team, I want you to nominate 3 people that were the most helpful, and it doesn't have to be someone in your team. They helped. Helpful meaning that if you needed them, they helped you. They didn't get in the way, they didn't try to outcompete you, they were just there to help. There's a reason I like to give that, because I believe that all of us have something of value to give. Everyone has something that they can give, but not all of us choose to give. And there's a difference. Everyone can be helpful if they choose to be. So the one that was the most helpful, I want to give them the spinners. Okay? So that would be, again, a self-nomination. Teachers, help me. Maybe you know somebody that really deserves it. They didn't win anything, but they always been there for others. Let's give it for them. All right? So that's so far the 4 process. I'd like to have team 1 start us off. Is that okay, or do we go backwards? Team 1. All right. So I'd like to have team 1. If I can get the whole team up here, and then just pick up your rocket as you're here and tell us about what you did, what did you learn, and what are you going to do about it if you had the same opportunity next time. Okay? Team 1, come on up. And then a round of applause for the team. Come on. Every team, a round of applause for everybody. All right, so who's going to talk?
Engineer. You engineer.
Talk about the rocket, and then I'm going to give away the scores you guys have. You could also tell us your names. Start off there.
Eric, James.
Say it in the mic so I get it for the live stream, please. Good. Talk in the mic.
Okay. Alright, so your name is Virginia.
Alright, I'll just remind you, there's the world watching. Come on, dude.
What's your name?
Okay, we have to go right here. Round of applause for David.
Okay.
We have Marissa, Virginia, James, and Eric. The homie Eric.
What? Alright. So
My name is Warren too.
So let me tell the scores that these guys had. So team 1 distance, the first attempt was 73 feet. Wow, so that was the one that went really far, right? Second attempt was disqualified, was at 137 feet, but it was out of bounds. We did disqualify thanks to Dr. Cooper, okay? Distance 3, well, it didn't matter because they had 145 on the third attempt. So it didn't matter. Then I was totally inbound. So that gave them the top distance, if you added all of them up, at 247 feet. So explain what happened, or what did you use to make it?
Okay, so I wasn't here yesterday. So
Alright, so whoever made it.
But I can probably explain some of this.
Alright.
I got it.
Okay, so first we made a cone for the tip, no. And then we have so we had to put hot.
It is! Leave me alone!
Yeah.
Okay, so we put hot glue on the tip so it can have weight. Pause. Then we have the body unit, so we copied the model of the Nerf gun bullet because those go far. So then we have the fins here, so it can get airborne.
Yeah.
We had to close it in because it was gonna stop from the air and then it's gonna fly back and fall to the ground.
No, wait. One more.
And then we make the body very long and wide possible. So the two can go in, so when we step on the bottle, because of my heavy shoes, the air will be pushed out and then the shoots far.
Alright, that's the question for it. Okay, so how do we design it? Okay. Okay. So you notice that the rocket size isn't the full sheet of paper. You guys obviously cut the paper. And this is probably about 7 to 9 inches long, right? It's not a full sheet of paper. It's cut. Why?
So basically, we just want to make it lightweight.
Make it lightweight, okay? It's using index paper. It's not using a regular piece of paper. So it's thicker walls, okay? Why did you add 4 these wings at the end here? And they're pretty decent size. Not like not flimsy. It's actually very sturdy. Index paper, stock paper. So explain why that.
So we make those things out of index paper because it's thicker and not flimsy like regular piece shape.
Okay. What about the top?
Can we hear from the people that actually designed it? Because you weren't here.
Alright. Alright. So you want to talk about it? You want to share?
Come on, Virginia.
Alright. say. We'll let
We did it for like the air. We like closed all the gaps on the top where this goes, where the air won't go out. We have a lot of pressure and shoot out.
Yeah. But there's something inside. It looks like it's more thicker than this. Is it because it just rolls up more, or what's at the top?
This is the
Top here. Oh, it just thicker.
yeah, this is
You also look like you added
hot
hot
glue.
glue gun at
Yeah,
the top.
for like when it's around, it won't
Okay, so you added some padding.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. You wanna comment on the colors of the designs? Anybody? Why?
It's just random.
Well,
It's got shit up
so you're telling me that adding green paper does not make it fly farther?
No.
Doesn't do that?
Oh, it could have been any other type.
Okay. All right. You've got a rocket that did pretty good. What did you learn from this process?
It takes time because at first it didn't go that far when we went in here, and then we had to like keep retrying with the rocket, and then we did
How many tries y'all did?
about like 6.
6 tries.
Yeah.
And then what happened the first time around?
It didn't go that way.
Why?
I don't remember.
Was it the launcher or?
Yeah, that's probably what
Can one of you bring your launcher? I want to just also see the launcher design. So this is probably the simplest rocket we've got. We've got some others that are really crafty, but let's look at the launcher as well. Can you talk about the launcher? I mean, that's also super simple.
Yes, let's hear from Eric, please.
No, Eric, talk about it. Explain what, you didn't even glue anything. You didn't go.
It's all
Okay, check it out. But you had the same PVC pipe that everybody else. Why didn't you go crazy with 10 pipes and bottles?
You wanted it to compact it for like, we don't have to go at any other pipes. We just short it and I don't know how to say it.
I think
Sometimes things have to be short.
that's nicely said. So I guess what you're trying to say here is the amount of air that sits in this pipe.
We don't have a lot of pressure to it. Big old pipe.
Yeah. And then the distance is this one, right? Yeah. So the other cool element of this is they didn't go too crazy on the size of the launcher compared to the rocket. You're going to see some of us have launchers that are really long. It doesn't add any value if it's further away. With pressure, it's got to be like really pushed in. So pretty small launcher, pretty small rocket, but it's got pretty thick paper, nicely smooth, and then this was why you got 145 feet from the same bottle that all of us had, right? Okay. So give me a future for each one of you. What are you going to do with something that you've learned here? And it doesn't have to be about rocket science. Is there anything that you've learned that you could apply for future? Anybody? Yeah. What are you going to do? Anyone? If you have to think that long, you've got nothing. All right. Move on. Move on. Alright. What's the future? You tell me.
Good job, y'all.
Alright, let's get the next team. Alright, team 2 ready? So your scores. Give me a second, the laptop turned off. Alright, so you had 51 feet for the first attempt. Is that right? Yes? Okay. Then you had 48 feet for the second attempt. And then you had 17 for the third attempt, giving you 120 feet of distance for all three combined. And you also had a wild card of 4 feet. So that wild card didn't help too much.
5 feet.
5 feet? Okay, we'll add it for you. Okay, so go ahead and tell us why each one, then explain your rocket design, who worked on it, what, go for it. And what did you learn?
Well, let someone who you weren't here yesterday.
I can explain though. I'm good at this stuff.
Go ahead. Go ahead. If you're part of the team, you're part of the team. Go for it.
Alright, so so we picked this design because
Is it getting hot in here? Or is this
because our first design wasn't really gonna work out because it was too long, it was too heavy, so it wasn't gonna really go too far. So we decided to cut it shorter and make it lighter, and then we decided to put 3 rather than 4, so it can be like a spin. So in the air it could spin rather than like just going straight. Because if you go forward, it's just gonna go straight. Make it more aerodynamic.
Nice. So anything with the color or the selection is just who designed it? Whatever's available.
Another thing about the rocket we built, we used 3 fins because I don't know if I know the concept of a windmill. The more air it has, the faster it goes. So we decided to use 3 rather than 4, so it could go faster. More air.
Nice.
Like he said, the first rocket was too long, so we used a smaller approach.
Nice. Is it with the stock paper too? It's
Yes,
thicker.
it's
Yeah.
thick. It's an
So
index
it added some more weight. Okay. Nice. Okay, what are you gonna do with this? Did you learn anything, or doesn't have to be about rockets? Did you learn anything else?
Yeah, you can't always do anything on the first try.
Yeah.
That's pretty good advice. Try it. Say it. That was pretty good, man. I mean, you're preaching to the choir.
I say you can't always do everything on the first try.
Okay, that means you gotta do it again?
You gotta do it until you get it right.
What happens if you fall the first time?
You keep going.
How many times did you guys try to launch that rocket before you got
Like 4 or 5 times.
51 feet?
4 or 5 times.
12 or... How many times?
Like 4 or 5.
4 or 5 times. Okay, alright, well that's not bad. Okay, any other lessons? That's awesome. Thank you. Alright. Thank you. Very nice. Alright, team 3.
Hey guys, here's a lesson for all of you to learn right now. Listen up. Listen up.
Team 3.
Here's your number 1 lesson. Respect. Respect means that you're paying attention to the people that are up here. There's a lot of you that are not paying no respect. You're being I don't care what you have to say. It's not more important than what they are saying right over here. If you have something to say, when it's your turn, you can speak up here. So stop playing, stop pulling each other laces. Pay attention to what is going on over here. This is the first thing that you have to learn is respect. Listen to others. And that's where it starts. Sorry.
No problem. Thank you. Alright, so team 3. Is that your full team? Come on. Come on. Just get up and get up here in front of the mic. Alright, so let me give you the scores for team 3. So on the first attempt, they had 69 feet. Second attempt, 42 feet. Third attempt, 30 feet. It looks like you had the best one, and then it started to come less and less. Like the rocket was losing its potential there. But you had a wall, and the wall card was 17 feet with the air compressor. So it didn't go as far as your launcher. So you have your launcher as well? Okay, also pretty straightforward. Okay, nice. You want to share with us the rocket and okay, it's a unique design. Nice. Tell us.
Can I see it?
We see it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Go for it. Explain this
We wrapped it around
completely.
Yeah, with tape and paper. You want me? Yeah.
Yeah, please. Please.
So we used the pole to like have this shape, and then we put paper on it and we rolled it up on the pole, and then we just duct taped it. And then for this, all they did was cut a circle, cut in the middle, and then like make it into the cone shape. No.
You didn't add any wings to this. Like, why?
I don't know. I wasn't here. That's why.
I want to.
Yeah, I wasn't here.
All right. So, but this had 70 feet almost on the first attempt. So there's some value to this design. What did you learn? Huh? It can fly, but then it loses its momentum on the second, third, fourth. It doesn't. It's not consistent.
Because we needed people with big feet to stop the flying.
So maybe adding and modifying the design to add some wings to this, so maybe that consistency could help. Because maybe the first time around you had it, this is pretty aerodynamic, except it starts to wiggle out, right? And that happened. I don't know if you guys noticed, but as it was going, it started to wiggle, and it lost its momentum because now it's no longer hitting the air head on. Mr. Cooper said the biggest problem you have getting a rocket off the ground, it's that at one point it's actually going to the air as if it's brick. You're moving so fast that the air pushes you down just as fast. So if you're going 100 miles an hour, the air is pushing you down 100 miles an hour. So if you all of a sudden started to twist, you're now going 120 miles an hour. It's pushing even harder because it's lost its aerodynamics, right? So think about maybe redesigning this with wings. And that way it keeps its position and it makes that arc instead of actually going and then losing and wobbling out, right? You've seen football, right? When you throw a football, if it spirals, right? If it's like a bullet, it goes straight, it keeps its power, it doesn't wobble, same concept. But football shape is very different, right? It's on both sides. The air, you can't throw, well, maybe you could design a spaceship like a football, but get the idea. Tell us what are you going to do with this kit? Is there anything you learned out of this that you could apply it?
Add more wings.
After that lecture, yes, you're going to add more wings. All right, good enough, but you also had the most durable rocket. It was bouncy, it didn't lose its look. We had some people where the nose just disappeared after first attempt. But this is pretty sturdy. I could chunk this and knock someone out. Right? So good job on that. Launch is pretty good too. Good job. Let's get the next team up here. Team 4. Okay, I'm looking for a lot of lesson learns here. Come on, Team 4. Woo! Come on. Y'all had good things to say. Bring your rockets, bring your rockets. Alright, so Team 4, we had one disqualification because the team members were all there. I think that probably affected your score. The second attempt had 8 feet, and the third attempt also had 8 feet. Okay, so it flew, from that little water bottle. It still did 8 to 9 feet, but you lost an attempt because there wasn't that sense of teamwork, I guess. All right, don't point fingers. I think what I would love to. Some of you mentioned how you would, if you had the opportunity again, you would change something. What would you change? Explain.
Take it off the pipe.
Make it fatter.
Let one at a time. So you would take it off the pipe. All right, wonderful. Come on, let you have also add something. Yeah, you just said something. Okay, make the rocket bigger. Okay. What about you, man?
We use different kind of paper.
Use different kind of paper. Why? Can I see what you use?
We use it.
Oh, you use a regular sheet of paper. So it didn't have as any weight.
Was
Okay.
In my group.
What else would you change?
Well, really the whole way they made it, like, just took.
So if you had a second attempt to take the team one again, would you take it?
Probably take it more seriously.
You would probably take it more seriously.
Yeah.
Why didn't you take it seriously the first time around?
Yeah, it was a joke.
Why was it a joke?
Everybody else, it was just like, look at it. Like, that's just
Y'all
wrong.
made it yesterday, why you had to take it?
We named it Titanic.
You named it Titanic? Why?
Because they said they
Because it was bound to fail.
It's bound to fail? I love it. So, I mentioned earlier, no one fails, right? It's an attempt, now we know what not to do, right? So, if someone told me that Thomas Edison, the guy that invented light bulbs, or electricity, or found electricity, if anybody asked him, man, you failed 10,000 times, he would turn around and tell you that I didn't fail 10,000 times, I just found out how not to do it 10,000 times. That's a lesson. That's a lesson that I think all of us should have. If you failed and you realize that you failed and you take ownership and you say, I failed, that's totally cool, as long as you know you get back up. So if I give you a second attempt to make that rocket, and you build it and you present it to me in a week, Lauren, you hear this? I'm giving this team an opportunity, and if you launch it, and you get anywhere close to any of the top 3 teams, I'll give you the same award that they got. Fair enough? Is that a good offer? But if you don't deliver,
wait, we got one question.
You lose.
Do this look like flame coming out of here?
No, it don't.
I did.
Alright, team, let's move on to the next team. Thank you. Team 5. Let's get team 5 up here. Come on, team 5. Where are you? Team 5. Bring your rocket. Let's get up here. Remember, if you failed on the project, it's alright, as long as you don't give up. Alright, check out this rocket. Also using cardboard. Pretty good tip. So this team, their wild card really helped them. It put them in 68 feet. Rocket flew 68 feet with the wild card entry. The first distance was 28. Second distance was 42. And third distance was 36. So pretty consistent there, right? And explain your design. Tell me what's going on.
Okay, so basically we did a lot of research. We did research on which fin shape would be the best. It turned out to be this one.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And
I would have assumed one of those spiky ones, you know? Did you see it? But that's not spiky. That's pretty rounded off.
It was round.
Okay.
And then we researched how many we should put, like which is best. It said 3, so we put
Okay.
3.
So some of the other teams mentioned 3 was a good number. Okay.
And then it was also said in our team that we should also add some weight to it. So instead of using constantly tape, we added some hot glue on both ends to like make it pretty
Added
balanced.
some weight.
Yeah, and yeah, the colors are picked at random. So yeah.
Okay. The color black doesn't go any faster than color white, you're saying? Okay. So something that you shared, I think it's awesome, well thought out, is you added the hot glue gun not to hold it down, but rather to add weight, right? That's pretty creative. A lot of us would say, well, I don't need any hot glue gun because I've already got tape, it's all fine. But I think team 1 added hot glue gun and the hot glue at the top to not damage the rocket, right? You added some sort of like a padding. That's pretty creative. Okay, so if you had to do this again, what would you change? Make it smaller? Why? Like the fins, the top, the body?
I'd reduce the size maybe by half.
Okay.
Just minimize it to see how far it would go next time. I would have made 2, but I don't know.
Okay. So we learned from the other team that had a lot more is that the smaller size added a lot of value, right? So maybe that makes sense, and that would help you get it further. Anything else? All right, no problem. So, all right, that's it. Thank you. Good job. I wanted to make a comment. I'll put it back. So I'll just make a comment about the wings, right? So far you've heard 3 is the best number for the wing. I think it also has to do with the size and how it's designed. So yes, 3 wings or fins does make sense for this rocket, but remember the smaller one, which you guys had 4, but the way they were designed and then allowed the air to pass, 4 could add more distance. It just depends on the rest. It's proportionate to the rest of the rocket size. All right, let's get team 6. Team 6, if I could get y'all up here, share your rocket. So this team had first attempt 22 feet, second attempt 13 feet, third attempt 33 feet. Okay, pretty good. All right. Check out this launcher. You went with a lot of PVC pipes, okay? Any learnings about this PVC pipe you want to share? The launcher also broke.
Well, this was like our first attempt.
Okay.
I think this was, but well, when we first tried it out, you were there as well. We added like pipes to see. We thought that a longer link would be better. We kind of agreed that it would. It kind of went the same like distance. When we shortened it, it kind of went the same as well. So we were really confused on what we needed to do. So we kind of stuck with the longer one, more pipes because we thought it was a longer distance. But maybe in retrospect, we should have used smaller so like air would get there faster instead of taking longer time to get there.
Okay. So the other thing that this team did is check out this rocket, right? So everyone had a pipe that went inside the rocket, right? The diameter of the rocket was larger than the pipe. This team, the rocket went inside instead of the launcher, and they had to use one of the holding barrel, what do you call this? The joints, the holding joints, to actually hold the rocket in place. So it limited how much the rocket could actually get retracted into the pipe of the launcher, right? So you only had this much area to push this rocket 33 feet. If all of us take any lessons from the other teams that had at least 6 inches to 7 inches, 9 inches of a pressure pushed behind the rocket, they had the best launches because you were pushing the rocket for longer, even though it's like a fraction of a second. As soon as you hit. I have some slow motion video from yesterday that you guys were running. You could actually see that after you hit the launcher and it starts pushing the air out. If this design rocket had a longer version that had more of the pipe inside so that it actually pushed it further, you could actually be competing with the 69, 78 range with the same design. So just think about that. You had a different way that it was launching, and you didn't, by the time the rocket left, all the air just got wasted. The rocket already left. But if you put it back here, there's still air pushing, and by the time the rocket leaves, all the air is already expelled out. You don't have any wastage. Here, you have a lot of wastage of pressure. It's already left. And it's fraction of a second, but if you had more, if you had another stick in here or something that's pushing, so try this out. Add a little bit more in the back of the rocket, and then try the launcher, and see if that adds any value. And of course, try to get it as into the pipe as possible, so you get more time as it's launching out. This is similar to when Mr. Cooper was talking about the fuel the rocket is using. When he showed, the motor launcher at the very top, it was the smallest thing of the entire rocket. The entire rocket was filled with fuel. 33,000 pounds a minute is what it was pushing out, he said. Right? That's a lot it was pushing out. So your goal is going to be trying to design this in a way that you could maximize and try to take advantage of the pressure that's coming in. So what else do you want to add? Is there any lesson learnings for you other than what I just explained?
You can make it a little bit thicker. We use like just regular. We thought that if we use like thinner paper, it would go like much farther distance because there's not a lot of mass on it.
Okay.
But maybe if we use thicker paper, it will go like.
Why does it matter? Why do you need mass on the rocket? Why do you need some weight on the rocket? So, if it was a glider, something that just glides through the air, the lighter the better. But this is actually fighting with air. It needs to have some weight so it can go further, and then when it comes down, it also goes further. Yeah. So think about that as you're designing this. Let's get the next team. Thank you so much. What's Team 7? Get Team 7 up here. Alright, so this team had 29 feet on the first attempt, 29 feet on the second attempt, and then 32 on the third attempt. In their wild card, they had a 13 feet attempt. So, explain your rocket, and you've got 2 rockets. That's pretty cool. So go for it.
Hello, my name is Capilla, and I will be representing team number 7. Nishy. So this was our first rocket that our team made. We based it much on looks than actual design. We went for like a stereotypical rocket. You see, it has the head, it has the body, and it has the 4 tails. To see comments, our team received a lot of comments based on our rockets, saying that maybe we should have added more structure to our panels, our wings, because they're really flimsy, basically. And I feel like the head was like the best. Hold on, I don't want to see that. That's pretty much it. And then we built our second model. It wasn't very typical. We made the same design, but just different color, basically. It wasn't really that much of a change.
Was it using stock paper or regular? Yeah.
So yeah.
What would you do differently? If you had the, is there anything you would change or keep it the same?
I would just say to change the wings and make it more sturdier.
Okay.
And actually connect it to the actual body of it, instead of just like taping it because right here is all connected to each other. I feel like we should have connected it separately. And maybe just add a little bit of weight on it. What we did, we stuck in some paper inside right here, but it made it only, the pipe only went up to here, so it had this much volume left. So the more volume, there's less pressure, and the less volume, the more pressure. So it didn't really receive a lot of pressure from there that we got.
Okay, good. Thank you. All right, teammate. Nice.
What are you eating?
All right, teammate. Teammate. Do I have a teammate? We don't? Oh, okay. Thank you. All right, so team 8, first attempt, 28 feet. Second attempt, 49 feet. Third attempt, 36 feet. The wild card didn't add any value. It was 0 feet. Is there a reason? We just didn't do it? Okay. Yeah, but could have gone. It was a good design. All right, so lesson learned. Tying your shoes before presenting. It's a good lesson. Not tripping on the stage, right? There you go. Yeah, any lesson learned, please?
The microphone, right?
Microphone.
We can't hear you.
To make the rocket thicker than it was, because we used regular paper, but it didn't like break or anything. But on the inside, when we were connected to the pipe, it started tearing. To make it thicker, because when we were putting the pipe to connect it, it was breaking on the inside, and to make these less cozy.
Okay. So that's what you would do to get further distance. Okay. All right. What about any other lesson learned? Any lesson learned, Megan? Who's Megan? Middle. Megan. Want to share with us it? Wow, you got a supporting team member.
Well, we should have counted down before we stomped on it.
Okay.
Because we weren't catching the time right, so we were just trying to make sure if we were not like doing it at first.
So you had a launcher that had 2 bottles?
We had one, and then we changed it, and on the third try, when I stopped on it, the bottle broke.
Okay.
We should have just waited.
So I wish we had to test the rocket. I wish we had just launched it with the air compressor, because that way it would have told us if the launcher was the reason. Unfortunately, we didn't get that opportunity to test the rocket, but the rocket looks pretty sturdy. Good shape, good size. Has the right amount of fins and wings, so it's all right. So good. Any other thoughts? I think thanks for all the teams. All right. So any other thoughts for you? Okay. I had to give him a sign. All right. That's it. So like I mentioned, so I already have the top 3. Just we all know it from the distance that the power element is the award for top 1, 2, 3 teams for the distance. So the team that had team 1 had 247 feet. That excludes their second. No, that includes the second. Let me fix that. No, it doesn't. Okay. So team 1 took the first place for power, which is 247 feet. So this is something for you to showcase. Get the whole team up here for a photo, and then Lauren will hand you your award for the power. Yeah, whole team. And if I could get someone to take photos of me and Power. Every time we pass by. Hey, sir. You're black. There you go. I like it. Can you show that higher? Yeah, there you go. Alright. Are you part of the team? Come on! Now show the picture. Let's do that again. I'm sorry. Alright. Done? Alright. So, team 2. Oh, sorry. The second place top scorer was Team 3 with 158 feet. So Team 3. Team 3. Hold it, please. It's laser engraved just for you. All right. So that was you got to share with the team. And then, you know, actually, I made a small little mistake. I did the Steve Harvey thing.
We are not getting the one done. We're gonna make another one. We're gonna make another one.
All right, Team 5 with 157 feet. So it's like by 1 feet. That team is Team 5. That's third. That's third.
We're not taking any work.
Where's my other
Let's get the team.
Where's the team?
Where's the team?
Right here.
Come. If you're part of this team, come on, jump in. Get in the photo. I'll be on the Chronicle tomorrow. The video will be broadcasted to all the 100,000 Estonians. Yeah, so we'll know what's happening. It'll be on the newspaper.
So what the comment about the Steve Harvey mistake, that's
It's all there.
It's not off. It's by 1 feet. Okay.
It's a route.
All right. Good job. Okay, but stay. So the accuracy. So I just want to make sure the team that had the most accurate landing. So it's this team. Yes, 29, 32. That's the most accurate ever.
Oh, the wild card is
Yeah. So this is pretty consistent too.
just this one.
Which one?
This one. For the accuracy, just this one. This one first.
Okay. All right.
What do you want to give it?
All right, so the team that had the most accurate landing consistently for all 3 attempts, that team is Team 7. They were really accurate. Rocket landed 29 feet, 32 feet. Is that the full team? Go ahead, give them one. I was worried that we didn't have enough. So, power, awesome, accuracy, even better. So, let's get over here.
You're going to show to school with the computer.
Okay, y'all here? Okay. Yeah. Thank you. All right. All right, so we had all these cool rockets all over gone. I wanted to try to take the best rocket design and get the.
Oh, you put that rocket.
And you get
Yeah.
You already decided? All right, so if, who wants to nominate their rocket design, and then we'll all take it. Get up here and then hold the rocket. Just one person from the team, and then we'll do a crowd. You get this. Okay. It's only two? Bring your rocket. Come on, anybody wants to nominate this rocket from the team? Come on. Let's get these designs. You got a design, okay? Sorry. But you're not part of it? Who's team 8? Are you not team 8? You were in the... No? That's your team? Okay. Whose rocket is this? Does anybody want to nominate this rocket? Somebody want to nominate this? This one? Look into the rocket. Alright, so who's this one? Who did this one? Come on, be honest. Who did this one? Come on, dude, get up here. This is pretty hot, man. Come on, get up here. You might win something. Come on. Come on. Are you donating this to us? Yeah. Pick your favorite. Okay. Come on. All right, so So we're gonna, I just need y'all to tell me which rocket got the best applause. What do you call it? Screaming, but not really screaming. Cheer.
Whistling doesn't count.
Whistling doesn't count. Okay. The loudest noise. Yeah. Okay. So we'll start with this one. All right. First rocket. All right. Come on up. Rocket. Second rocket. He totally won. He said it. Let's go next. Come on. Don't forget this one took the top one. Alright, design. I don't know about that one. This one. Alright, come on, man. Show us this design. Come on. Look at that. They're cheering for you, man. They're keeping notes. Alright, come on. You're up. Come on. Dude, she's also taking photos. Okay, this one.
So which one is it? Oh, is that one?
Come on. You done? Okay, move on. Let's go. Alright. What about this one?
Exactly.
Pretty good. Good.
Cheer for the Starburst.
Alright, this one. Alright, so teachers, help me out. I got all these spinners. What am I giving them out to? It's a tie between team 1 and his team. So, last but not least, the hopeful award. So I want you to look around you, and the helpful award. I want y'all to nominate people. Okay? 3 people. Wait. I should say 2 people. It's not out of prizes. 2 people, even if they were not part of your team, they help. And teachers, you get to actually also nominate. So if you know someone, just call them out by their name, get them up here. You want to know what they did, why they are called helpful, the most helpful in the group. So 2 people, nominate them. I'll give you 3 minutes. That's plenty of time. Look around and nominate a person. Go ahead. Who? Yeah. Daniel? This is all students. Yeah. All students only. All students. So I had somebody nominate Daniel. Who's Daniel? Come up here. Come up here. He got nominated by her. So maybe we just gotta do this. So who's in favor of Daniel being nominated? Just keep your hand up. Okay, we've got a team. We've got a couple of teams. Okay. Do you mind coming up here to share why, Daniel? Who nominated you?
I helped you with the project.
You come up here too? Yeah. You nominated him, right?
Oh.
Yeah. And it better be the truth. Yeah. Alright. So, you got Daniel? You got him? Anyone else? You have 3 minutes.
Brandon, come defend me. I helped you with the project.
No one was hopeful?
You said
Huh? You're going to tell us why you nominated him. Why was he hopeful? What did he do?
Oh, you want me to say it now?
We're asking for one more. Do we have one more? If not, we'll go.
They said students only.
I like him. You can just be a student today if you want to. No? Yes, please. Anna? Which Anna? You're Anna?
No, Anna's over there with the green shirt.
Anna? Come on, Anna, get up here. You got nominated by a teacher. Okay, so peer review and teacher. Come on.
You were not taking when I still get up for you. I hope we have to take 2.
Alright, so, nominated. Tell us why he was helpful. What did he do?
So we accidentally put the tape on the wrong side of the pool. And then he ran in and got the tape so we could take it off and put it on the other side.
Right before you open the door.
Is he part of your team?
No. He's a state grandma.
Wow, man. That's awesome. That's pretty good. So, what's his name? Daniel. And you had somebody else from... You wanna share why you nominated him? That's pretty cool. You ran for another team.
He helped us with the tape too.
Alright,
He's a tape expert.
Alright, that's pretty good. Okay, Daniel, thank you for doing what you did. You don't know yet, just stay here. Go ahead. Why'd you nominate? Who's nominating who?
I nominated him because, like, when everybody needed him, like, since he had no problem with it, because, like, they need somebody here to, like, you know, to make sure, to, like, make the rocket go. He didn't have a problem. Like, when somebody asked him to, like, get help, he just stepped up and helped them.
Is that true? Yeah?
No. I still do it by 3 weeks. I don't know what they're talking about.
That's pretty cool. Thanks for nominating him. Who's nominating who?
He was very helpful. He was encouraging and he helped us push out.
Oh, man.
Is he in the same team?
No.
So a different team, you helped a different team. Why'd you do that? Why? He's your friend. Okay, interesting. You know her before? You guys know each other in school?
No, we
Okay, alright.
So I nominated Anna because she's the only one who took the rocket home and brought it back. So that in itself is a responsibility that that we want a job to do, but Anna, not only did she take it home, brought it back, kept it in place.
All right.
Not that, but she's also pretty darn smart too. Quiet though.
All right. So, nominator, you could give this as a thank you for your most helpful. You nominated him, and then I got something else. So you nominated him. Give each other the award for being helpful. Just stand up here so we can take a photo. Just get in a line. Just get in a line. Get in a line. Just. I've got something for you. Just hold on. Alright, so big photo. Anna, get in the photo. Sorry, you get in the photo too. You nominated. Alright, come on, look at the camera. Anna, come out here.
You're like the shortest one.
Let's all get behind Anna.
Yeah, for real.
One more.
Thank you. Alright, good job. So,
Go over there.
alright. So, I would like to wrap this up, and then Lauren, this is then your show. But I do have one bag, and so I have been watching, and in the process of watching y'all work, your teachers have done a lot, and I've been seeing who's been the kindest of them all, right? So being helpful is cool, and this is for the teachers. Being helpful is cool, but then being kind is just as important. Being kind means, yes, you're helping them, but then if you see that the team is struggling, not just with the rocket, but they have something else happening, they're stepping in, they're helping everybody. So you got nominated, and I saw you were also helping me out. So, how do you say it? Enrique. And that's it, right. So I want to do this to you. So this way we all just get recorded for us. All right, so if you learn nothing else from today, it helps. It gets paid to be helpful, and it helps to be helpful. Let me repeat this. It helps to be helpful. It pays to be kind. Okay? So with that said, I'm going to wrap this event up. I'm going to give it over to Lauren, and you guys do whatever you want to do. The building's yours until.
Well, one of the things I hope you pull from today is from Mr. Cooper. He said yesterday, math is everywhere. All right. So even if you're a 9th grader, or you're a 10th grader, or a 12th grader going into college, realize this: you're never going to get away from it. So you might as well embrace it. All right. So. That being said, I'm going to give it to Mr. Lord.
Alright, I want to start by saying thank you guys. I know it's the first time, and I know it's a Sunday and you're here, so really appreciative of you making your time to come here, especially especially for a lot of you, this is your day, you know, for your religious, spiritual, and you make a choice to come here. I do understand that science is not for everyone. I know that science is, you know, matter, but it's something that is going to follow you for the rest of your life. Math is going to be there no matter what. Whatever you're going to be doing when you go grocery shopping, when you go buy your clothing, when you start looking at your expenses, math is always going to be there. So we're hoping that we're encouraging just a little bit for you to focus into sciences. So again, thank you very much. The event is over for today. What we'll need to do is make sure that we clean up and leave this space better than what we found. So what we're going to need is we're going to need some help on the back to throw all of the pizza boxes outside. We got a lot of water that we're going to take outside to put into the cars. And then we're going to make sure that everything we collect, all the trash, and throw it away.